I think we should be good now for the audio. As you guys know, you guys can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. We're streaming live on every single platform. Of course, last week we had a little audio hiccup going into the show. Well, guess what? We're going to keep that trend going, whether we like it or not. Let's get to the agenda. We've got a great agenda for you guys. We are going to be talking Red Sox versus Yankees recap and getting to the Red Sox versus Yankees part 2. That's going to be down in the Bronx. We are also going to get you guys some NBA free agency updates, some other stuff. Misspoke the letter agency there, so we're off to a grand old start here on Timeout Talks. And the finale, I've even got the live poll results. I will get you guys those poll results a little bit later. I did a last-second poll right before the show started and got a bunch of comments. But we're pumped. You know, later on, we'll get to it. Do we think the Patriots are going to win more than 7 games? A lot of traction last week, Ben. Like, so much traction. People saying yes, people saying no. A lot of people on the show said no, they weren't going to reach 7 games. So that's a little eye-opening if you are a Patriots fan. The chat is absolutely bumping right now. Let's take a look at Pat. He's coming in here calling me Josh Jones, trying to kind of make fun of Adam Jones, calling me Adam Jones. We've got Marianne in here. We got Pat via Twitch and Marianne via Facebook. We've got Croissant Man. Let's go. So we got some other people in here. Not sure who that is, but Croissant Man, welcome to the chat. Ben, let's kick things off talking a little bit of baseball here. Red Sox, Yankees. It was a tough one if you're a Yankees fan. They were able to split this series 2-2. Verdugo had a walk-off in Game 3. Just so much to unfoil here. The Red Sox were down both games. They were down in Game 4. They were able to kind of turn the table and come back twice within this series. The Yankees bullpen, my guy Clay Holmes, who struggled the other day, he struggled again in this series. The Red Sox were able to tie it up, Ben. How are you feeling as a Red Sox fan after that split series? And moving forward, what do you want to see the Red Sox do in this next series?
After that one, Josh, that saved me those last 2 games. Granted, even though the first one was close game, 6-5 between the Red Sox, Yankees, we kind of came back and dug ourselves back into that one. Dug ourselves a little bit of too big of a hole to get out of. We showed some fight in that one. That's what impressed me from the first game, but obviously the Verdugo, game winner, and this, obviously getting the second win too in pretty convincing fashion was pretty static, Josh, right there, and figure out who Croissant Man is too. Shout out Eric. I assume that's Eric. I don't know why his name is Croissant Man on Twitch. Maybe I can dive deeper into that one. I assumed it was him. But after those 2 last games with the Yankees, Josh, I was feeling pretty confident, feeling really good. It's not where I am at all right now after seeing this Rays series, but we'll unpack that a little. Red Sox are just imploding in this series. I don't know what's going on. Bullpen I'll get into. But I was pretty ecstatic, Josh, the way we fought back, because I thought the Yankees were going to sweep us. I'm not going to lie. I thought they were going to take care of us pretty easily. The hitting was just too much. It was looking like this. That lineup 1 through 9 was just killing us. Everybody was, Josh Donaldson was having a career day, having field days against us. Looked like some of those back in the day Blue Jays sort of games he had against us Red Sox. So, yeah, Rizzo did his thing. Judge, obviously. I can't remember if he had too good of a series, but he was obviously there. Now, yeah, but he was still there. He still scares us with the pitching we have. Still scares us. And Stan did some damage with that huge line drive. Thought it was a line drive, and then just went outside, went out the park. So he would love Fenway Park too, playing in there, much like he does Yankee Stadium. But I was pretty confident with the Red Sox, Josh, after that Yankees series. I mean, the Yankees are one of the best teams in baseball, if not the best. So the way we just didn't back down, got those last 2 games and tied up the series, I was feeling really confident going to this Rays one. But right now, like I just teased, I'm really not too confident, Josh. Yeah, I'm very, very disappointed with the Red Sox.
Again, muted. Weird. But the Red Sox did exactly what they shouldn't do, and that is lose to the Rays. They lost 2 games in a row. Shane McClanahan really held things down. They blew a Chris Sale ultimate performance. His first game back, he looked excellent out there. What was it, 5 or 6 Ks through 5-6 innings? He looked great. He really did. His slider was moving. His changeup was looking good. His fastball was getting up there. I think he might have even hit 100 once or twice, or 99. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it was a good series, Ben. Going back to the Red Sox-Yankees. The Yankees took the first 2, Red Sox taking the second 2. Again, Garrett Cole, he started off unbelievable. I was like, this is exactly what we wanted. We're up 4 or 5 runs. This is great. He went through kind of the order a little bit here. I think he let up like a run, or it was the home run to Devers, and I'm just like, what the hell? Like, all right, like Devers has kind of owned him. Whatever. We're still up 3 or 2. I think it was 2 at the time. Then it ended up turning into 3. He lets up another home run. I'm like, what the hell, dude? But weathered the storm, pulled him out of there. Besides those 2 home runs, it was okay performance. He pitched his ass off against the Reds a couple nights ago. That was the game that Ben was talking about that we lost. We were up 3-0. This kid absolutely went balls to the wall. It is what it is. But again, just want to sit here on the podcast and say that Rafael Devers has owned Garrett Cole. I'm not going to stray away from that. I'm not going to be that harsh Yankees fan who doesn't want to accept reality. It is what it is. Pat getting ridiculous saying he'd take John Wall as a pitcher over Garrett Cole. Come on, let's relax a little bit, Pat. But overall, if you're a Red Sox fan, let's take a look at those standings that have been absolutely just shifting left and right. You're 15.5 games behind the Yankees. You're in a close race here in the AL East. The Baltimore Orioles are now 2 games behind
told everybody.
the Red Sox.
I told them.
Ben called it. They're 3.5 games behind the Rays. So a lot to kind of dive into here within the AL. The AL is really picked up. You got the Twins. The Guardians are on the Red Sox case. The Mariners have won 10 straight now. So within the span of a week, I came on the show. I talked about, I think the Red Sox should be okay. The AL isn't too strong, and I still don't believe it is. I still think the Blue Jays are underperforming a little bit. I still think the Mariners are playing a little bit of catch-up ball. But you got to push the panic button a little bit. Or not push the panic button, but have your hand over the red button there. Caution a little bit, because a lot of the teams are catching up ground. I mean, look at the Orioles. They're 2.5. They're literally 2 games back. They've had the Red Sox number a little bit, and as we talked about within the previous shows, the Red Sox and the Blue Jays are going to kind of end the season. Later on in the season, I believe it's like they have like a 3-4 game series in Toronto, which they have not played well in. So a lot to unravel here. We're approaching the All-Star break. We got a little bit of time. Maybe we can joke around. We can say the home run derby. Name the participants. Maybe me and Ben can choose someone. We can ask who you guys got winning it. But hey, quickly, we'll get to this. What do you guys think of the Blue Jays coach being fired? I believe it was the GM. It's kind of a weird thing because quickly I mentioned I thought that they were underperforming this year a little bit. I thought they were going to kind of take that next step. They're still behind the Yankees and they're still like in contention to get that second spot and kind of solidify a good wild card spot. But overall, it's a little underwhelming here. He did a great job drafting some guys, so I think it can go either way. As a Blue Jays fan, I'd kind of be like, what the hell? This guy has done a great job in drafting prospects and trades and, developing a great team. But at the same time, they're not where they want to be yet, so I don't hate it. Overall, I kind of lean to the side of I wouldn't have done it because I think that the Blue Jays have done a phenomenal job in terms of prospects. We've heard James come on the show multiple times to talk about the Blue Jays being the next big thing. Vladdy Guerrero, Bo Bichette, those two. You got Alek Manoah. Gosman's been great. Barrios is a great pitcher. I mean, Manoah is a little younger, but again, I don't love where the Blue Jays are at, but I also don't love or hate the firing. But it's weird. It's a weird firing mid-season, Ben. So that's kind of my thoughts on that.
Yeah, no, it was the manager, Josh. It was Charlie Montoya. Their manager promoted interim manager John Schneider for it. Ross Atkins still at the GM over there. They were just a little confused making the move. Still, I mean, the Blue Jays were spiraling a little on a pretty decent losing streak, but they were still sitting 46-42, still in contention. Obviously in the AL wild card. So that was a little strange move, everybody thought, but it seemed to give them a little jump start, much like it did with the Phillies when they got rid of blanking on that guy's name, Joe Girardi. I think Joe Girardi might be Jim. It's either one of those. Who really cares? He got fired, so he's out of there anyways, but it kind of gave them a little kickstart to see the Phillies now 4 or 5 games over 500. So Blue Jays trying to do a similar thing. Got a nice little win against the Royals last night, looking to capitalize against this. Not the Royals last night. I believe I forget who they beat up on last night. Phillies, actually. Sorry, they beat the Phillies last night. Taking on the Royals now, looking to capitalize against a lesser Royals team. So I think it's a good move for the Blue Jays. Bad move for the Red Sox. Then the AL East is tightening up, and like I said, and like Josh pointed out, the Orioles coming up there. Like I said, listen, being out in the area, I got to listen to all these Orioles fans, and they got a nice little young roster over there. Adley Rutschman, I mean, I believe he's the number 1 prospect over there. Trey Mancini. They got some good guys over here. I don't want to go too deep into it. I don't want to show off my Baltimore not fandom, but I watch a lot of Baltimore baseball, I guess you could say, unfortunately. So I know a decent amount about them. So we even got to worry about them. And this Rays series, we just can't lose games on this. We got to take this one because we got the Yankees right after. And then, as we're talking about them, we got the Blue Jays right after this. So I like the move for the Blue Jays, kick them, get them in a little gear right now, kick them into gears, I should say, and get them moving in the right direction. Bad move for the Red Sox, unfortunately. We got to step it up.
There is a lot of scrutiny for the Red Sox. I will say one thing I was not prepared to say, and that is Chris Sale has been great, or was great in that performance. That's something, if I'm a Red Sox fan, your pitching has been very, very eye-opening. I think it's Tanner Houck and Whitlock have really been the only two to kind of hold it down. You've seen them get rid of Hansel Robles, and kind of underwhelming, very, very underwhelming year for him this year, especially coming off a great year last year. But other than that, those two guys have really only held it down. And then you look at the starting rotation. Pavetta's been solid. I think I believe he had the best ERA. But the issue with Pivetta is when he's bad, he's bad. And when he's on. And I think a lot of the Red Sox fans tend to remember his bad performances. Look at hence the other night against the Yankees. But overall, I look at a Red Sox team that could be getting James Paxton back. They're definitely going to be getting Whitlock back. Everyone's forgetting about Kike Hernandez. The offense hasn't really lost a beat without him. He's a great utility player. They're definitely going to need him. But overall, Ben, they're trying out Bayo. It hasn't been smooth sailing. But the biggest takeaway that I have moving forward, and this is going to roll right over to the Red Sox-Yankees this series coming up this weekend, which I will be in attendance. Maybe we'll get a timeout talks thing going. Maybe I'll go live for a couple minutes from the stadium. I don't know. I always say things that I don't end up doing. We'll see. But this is the number one concern for me with the Red Sox moving forward. They still got some series against the Blue Jays. They still got some more series against the Rays. They're actually in a series against the Rays right now. They got the Yankees a couple more times. They are, I believe, 0-9 overall, approaching 0-10 in terms of series. What is it? 0-8-2, I believe. Excuse me. They have a couple splits. But I do know that they have never won a series this season against the AL East. They are defeated against the AL East in terms of series. And their overall record is 11-23 within the AL East this season. That is not a good record, especially because a lot of those teams you're kind of eye to eye with right now. And I want to talk about just kind of rebuild mode, and you're kind of in this weird mode. Your owner actually just came out. You've got Rafael Devers potentially on the list, soon to be shipped potentially on out of here. He might not re-sign. I think next year he can pick up an option or whatever it is. I think next year would be his last year. You've got Bogarts. Is he going to pick up his player option? A lot of people are feeling he's going to leave. JD Martinez is a free agent. He could be traded. And a lot of these guys don't feel the insurance. And then your owner comes out yesterday and says you're in rebuild mode. That was another little topic I didn't want to go unnoticed here. Ben, what do you think about that? Rebuild mode. Your owner comes out and says you're in rebuild mode while you have 3 players on expiring contracts who are the big 3 within your offense. I don't know what to feel if I'm a Red Sox fan with that statement. I mean,
I didn't see it, Josh, and I was hoping. I really wish I did hear that one. Now I don't know what's going on over there. It's a very concerning message. Red Sox upper management's always. These guys are just always doing whatever, saying whatever, throwing money at whoever, and then face consequences. So I don't know what he's trying to accomplish with that. I don't know what he's trying to do, what kind of message we're trying to send. But I'd be pretty worried because, like you said, that nucleus is pretty important for this Red Sox. If we lose a Devers, you saw what happened without Devers in some of these Yankees games, and not Yankees games, Rays games to begin with. I believe he might have, I don't know if he might have sat out a Yankees game because of injury, but not sure about that. But you saw what happens with one guy already leaving the lineup. So, the nucleus leaving, you kind of see sort of like what happened with Benintendi, Betts, and all those guys were leaving. I don't want that to happen really again. So I don't like the message at all. I don't know what he's trying to accomplish with that. Hopefully we can get some of these deals done. But if anything, I just want to keep Devers, Josh. I know it's not, I know it's not on topic. I'm going to listen. Forget about the quote. The owners, I'm not even listening to these guys. These guys are just talking, and they're just ruining. They're just putting their foot in their mouths, and they just got to stop. I don't know what message he's sending. So I didn't even really hear it. So, that just shows you, it shows you I'm not really on too much social media and everything. I'm not keeping up as much as I should. But, people aren't really recycling that news. Everybody, this is the same old from Red Sox management. Just keep Devers for me, please. Just give me some hope.
Got Shannon coming in here. I think that says FU, talking about the management here. We're on timeout talks. We've got a lot to talk about today. We're going to get to the NBA free agency, which we're going to flip over to in just a few moments. Before we do that, we're going to get to the home run derby. I want to see what Ben thinks in terms of who's going to win the home run derby. That's coming around the corner soon. I believe, actually, what date is that?
Should be Saturday, I believe.
This Monday.
This Monday.
So,
see, look at that. There we go.
Yeah, we got to get our picks in. I was going to say maybe we have another week, but maybe we don't. But yeah, that's not too, the Boston media right now, it's They're just pumping out stuff. They've only got one team active right now at the moment, unless you want to count the Revs. But not many people do. But again, 11-23 in the AL East. They split that series, Ben, that we last talked about next week. For the show on Tuesday, we'll have a lot more Red Sox, a lot more baseball stuff to talk about. We'll talk about the Home Run Derby, talk about the All-Star Game, we'll recap all that stuff. So, but before we get to the basketball side of things, and there was an interesting tweet that was just posted out today from Jared that's getting a lot of leverage. We're going to read you some tweets, and we're going to get you guys your thoughts on that. That's going to come up. But before we do, let's talk about the Home Run Derby, which, as I mentioned, is taking place at T-Mobile Park, I believe. Nope,
so,
I lied.
yeah.
It's at Dodger Stadium. I lied. I completely lied about
worse.
that.
Dodger
it's Monday,
Stadium.
8 p.m. I know, those Dodgers. They're always taking everything. World Series, Home Run Derbies, All-Star Games, you name it. But they've got a nice little stacked list here. They've got the back-to-back champion in Pete Alonso. They've got Ronald Acuna, one of the hottest stars in the MLB. Albert Pujols, the veteran guy right there on his last season. Who would have thought? I mean, this is a treat for a baseball fan having him perform. 42 years old in the Home Run Derby. I love that. We've got another rising star in Juan Soto. He does the little shuffle there that used to piss me off. They've got Kyle Schwarber, Kyle from Waltham, former Red Sox here for the Phillies. We've got Julio Rodriguez. Want to talk about an actual guy. Juan Soto and Ronald Acuna are already here. This guy, Julio Rodriguez, James called it. This guy is unbelievable. Early candidate for AL Rookie of the Year. He's going to be in it. And Jose Ramirez has also been added. He is a brute. Talk about power behind, pack a punch behind your swing. Jose Ramirez for the Guardians, who have been surprisingly good this year. He's going to be participating in his first ever Home Run Derby. They've got one last spot to fill. I'd like to see JD Martinez in it, but I think he's already turned that down. I know both the Yankees have turned it down. But overall, I'm going to be boring, Ben. I'm going to go with Pete Alonso. I think he does the trifecta. I think he three-peats. I think it's the safe bet. And just watching him last year, I wasn't rooting for him. I think I was actually rooting for Trevor Story, who didn't end up winning. Pete Alonso was just mashing balls. Absolutely. Just secondhand nature to him for the Home Run Derby. I think he three-peats, and we see a first-ever three-peat. So that's who I got, Ben. I know it's kind of the lame pick, but that's who I'm going with.
Yeah, I mean, 100% agree with you on that one, Josh, too. I mean, listen, I was going to say that as my disclaimer, safe pick. If anybody wants to gamble on it, throw some money on it, safe bet, probably Pete Alonso. That's who I think. I mean, this is just his thing. I believe he's somebody can maybe quote me on this fact, but I thought I heard it on SportsCenter. I think he's maybe earned more in the home run derbies that he's participated in than his entire MLB earnings. So it shows you how good he's been. I mean, he's still a young guy, so I don't know if he's got that big contract yet, so that might explain it. But this is just his event. He crushes the home run derby. Sometimes it affects people's swing after. It doesn't really do that for Pete. He's a pro at this. And Josh mentioned Julio Rodriguez. Want to give him a shout out too. I didn't know Jimmy had pegged him for an all-star or said he was going to be really good. I've just been watching the Mariners, the West Coast Orioles, as I call them. They're on a 10-game winning streak, just like the O's. Obviously the Mariners still in the AL, just West Coast. Want to trick anybody up with that one, but the Mariners are crushing it. Julio Rodriguez, big part of that. Him, Carlos Santana, J.P. Crawford over there. I like that Mariners team, man. They've helped me out with a couple bets, so I've been checking out them, and they're doing pretty well over there. So just want to give them a little shout out. But I'm going to go with my local guy over here, Juan Soto. I'm going to go a little shonker for everybody. Got to go the youth. He's got that. He's got the power to stay up with Pete, and like I said, the youthfulness to go the whole event. I didn't want to go with Pete too, so I'm going to go Juan Soto. If you really want to get crazy, go Jose Ramirez. Like that guy off the Guardians, solid Guardians, third baseman over there, I believe.
Yes, he is. That would be a interesting candidate. I like that one. He's a slugger himself, so there's a lot going on in that home run derby. I'm very excited. Baseball, again, it's like a newfound love for me. And again, big series, Yankees Red Sox. I think the Yankees are going to take it in 3. I do. I believe I said that they were going to split last series. I swear. I think I did.
I think you did. No, I think you did, Josh. I'll give you that one.
I think the Yankees take it in 3 this series. I think things come back down to life a little bit. Oh, he doesn't think so. He doesn't think so.
You know, Josh, I'm gonna put the faith in the Red Sox a little in this one. I think hopefully maybe this Rays series, I think we'll get swept in this Rays one. Maybe it'll wake us up a little. I think we take 2 out of 3. I think you guys win one. It's gonna be another heck of a series between the two. But I can't come on here and say because I believe I had the Yankees win the series last time.
Oh, it's a 3-game series, right?
I believe so. Let me double check that. I thought it was.
Now 2 here. Got the.
Yep, 3-game series.
Okay, so I think the Red Sox take 2 out of. I mean, excuse me. I think the Yankees take 2 out of 3. Sorry. I don't think that they sweep.
Yeah, and I'm sweeping 4. Josh is going crazy. Josh was going crazy with that. That would really put us in turmoil.
You know what?
Before a game losing streak, but
I'll stick to the sweep. Sorry, I'll over.
Come on, man. Come on. You gotta stick with the Yankees.
I'll stick with it. I'll stick with the sweep in 3.
I love that.
Sorry, Shannon.
We pressured him a little.
Backlash with that a little bit. They got the.
We pressured him a little. I'll still give it 2 out of 3 though. If someone's gonna represent the Red Sox in this one, but probably not gonna happen. This bullpen's awful. If I see this Ort guy come out there again, I don't even know who this Ort is. He did well too. So sorry, Josh. I had to get a little sidetracked with the bullpen.
No worries. Big series that starts, I believe, Friday night. That's huge series in the Bronx. Part 2, Yankees versus Red Sox. Actually, part 3 on the season. So that'll be an interesting one. However, let's talk some NBA free agency. There was a couple big things that happened. One big potential thing happened today that we want to talk about. I also want to get to that Twitter thing so we can quickly just brush over the NBA free agency. But let's get you to it. And it is DeAndre Ayton, who actually was rumored to sign a 4-year, $138 million max offer sheet with the Pacers. I think the Suns have 24 hours to 48 hours. I think it was 24 hours to match that. I've heard mixed things, Ben. I've heard that they potentially are going to. I heard it is the biggest deal in the NBA history in terms of I think it's just the biggest deal like per year or whatever. It's the max sheet, whatever it is. I know that it is a record-breaking deal. I can get you the exacts on that in a second. But I've heard mixed things. I've heard that the Suns are going to match it, and I've heard that they aren't going to match it. So, Ben, we've got that, and we've also got, I quickly brushed over it, we've got Pat Connaughton signing here it is, 3-year, $30 million contract extension with the Bucks. I know there was some talk about him potentially coming over here. And Aiden coming in here. Sam Hauser, 3-year deal. Huge signing. That's funny. So, and yeah, how could we forget? I was on my way to Fox's when this happened. Damian Lillard did just shatter a record. They extended him. He's extended all the way to 2027. So a lot going on within the NBA in terms of free agency, Ben. I'm just going to look up that DeAndre Ayton facts, but a lot to talk about here, Ben.
Yeah, no, decent. I think you had those 2 right, Josh. I think you had that 48-hour one correct. I was just wanting to pull it up too. I just want to pull up this sort of one that I think is going to make the Suns. Yeah, did you get it, John?
So it's so it is 48. It's the Phoenix Suns have 48 hours to match the largest offer sheet in NBA history. The largest offer sheet, not contract. Excuse me for that. So 4 years, $133 million maximum offer sheet. That's the deal there for DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big one right there. That is a big time. I think if the Suns do sign it, I think he's going to get traded. I think this is all part of a trade. I heard this from Bobby Marks earlier. This one really intrigued me. The KD deal. This would send KD to Phoenix. This is a multiple trade deal. Obviously now DeAndre Ayton go to the Pacers. Obviously they had him go on the Pacers in this trade. Obviously this just sort of confirms it. But in this hypothetical one, he had KD going to the Suns, Mikal Bridges Donovan Mitchell to Brooklyn. And another player right there, I can't see, Ben Simmons to the Jazz, with a bunch of all the picks would go to the Jazz. So basically, essentially, Aiden will wind up in Indiana, Mitchell in Brooklyn, KD in Phoenix, and Jazz we get Ben Simmons and all the first-round picks, about 5 first-round picks from the collective teams. So I know it's kind of loose. People, that's what we're getting right now. People are just throwing these kind of loose, crazy deals out there. I kind of like that one. That one makes the most sense to me. If someone wants to go look that up, a little more clear and concise instead of me just blubbering through some of it. But essentially, we just see KD and Phoenix would probably be the sort of most marquee out of that trade. Big time right there. So this might be setting it up, Josh. Might not be. But I mean, I think it's either them signing, they're accepting that, matching that offer sheet, I should say, and then sending him out to Indiana, or they're just going to let him walk. I don't think he's coming back to Phoenix. Him and Monty Williams haven't really seen eye to eye, and people are still a little upset. You know, him getting drafted overall #1. It's not really. It's hard to get compared to. Steph. It wasn't Steph. Trey and Luka were the next picks, so he kind of gets compared to those guys, and obviously you see what the trajectory those two are on. Kind of gets hard to get compared to those two, get held to those standards. He's not that same type of player. So I think he gets a bad rap in that, but I think his time at Phoenix is just over. So I would like to see that trade get done, get a little CP3, Devin Booker, and KD out in Phoenix. I think that'd be interesting.
That'd be a lot, and I know a lot of people were thinking that DeAndre Ayton, as you mentioned, Ben, would be the is that missing or that domino to fall in terms of Kevin Durant being traded. I know a lot of people think that he might stay, but he was kind of that missing piece there in terms of being able to get shipped out and hauled over to Brooklyn in exchange. There would obviously be more that would be added, as you mentioned there, Ben. But very interesting, because I know the Suns and a lot of people had thought before that they weren't going to be able to get a massive offer for DeAndre Ayton, and they thought that the market was going to go a little dry. So interesting. The Pacers, who shipped out Brogdon last year, now they're trying to get another center in DeAndre Ayton. Not Brogdon. They actually did ship out Brogdon, but Sabonis. Yeah, excuse me. So a lot going on in the NBA. Damian Lillard had re-signed, as I mentioned. However, we've got a lot of stuff that happened on Twitter today. I'm going to quickly change our eyes here. We're going to look at Timeout Talks. This was Jared who made this, not me, so I want to throw that one out there. This was the Boston Celtics 2K23 mock rating. So this is for the new video game that's coming out, 2K23, what Jared had thought would be the ratings for some of these guys. We've got 2 being shown here, so I just want to apologize for that. A lot to kind of dive into here, Ben. As you guys can see the ratings, I'm going to leave the ratings up and just read some of the comments. I want to see what you guys think, because there was a lot going on Twitter. A lot of people had some backlash. Some people agreed. Some people didn't. We've got Peacemaker Judas coming in here saying Horford gotta be an 80 or an 81, and we have Stellar CT agreeing, saying yep, the only thing I change is Horford 81. We've got Brady Pompey coming in, why isn't Grant a 99? I believe that was a troll, but I'll get to a couple other ones. But Ben, overall, just taking a look at this list here and taking a look at what Peacemaker and Stellar were able to kind of say. They think Al Horford's got to be an 80 or an 81. Does that jump off to you, or is there a couple other things that kind of jump out to you?
I completely agree with those two, Josh. Those are right there. I was going to give him max 81 to Horford. He's definitely not 78. Listen, I mean, he's definitely got the skills still right now. It's just, he's old, man. So you got to give him those low 80s, those veteran ratings. So I agree with Peacemaker, and I forgot the other cool name.
Stellar CT.
Stellar CT. Thank you, Josh. Sorry about that. Stellar. My bad on that one. Brogdon, I thought could be a little higher too. That one jumped off the off to me. I thought he was at least around 84, 85. I don't know if I saw his game go down that much. I know he's been in Indiana and people haven't been seeing him too much, but he's still relatively young, still a pretty good player. I thought he could be at least the mid 80s. He's still a pretty good point guard over there. I didn't think he was an 81. Marcus Smart has gotten a lot of debate too. I mean, 82. I boost him up. 85. Listen, he just won Defensive Player of the Year. I'm going to give him a little more credit than that. Rob probably a little down. I mean, I'm going to be a little nitpicky with it. I mean, I'd probably put him 82, 81. I mean, 83 was close. I think just the injury concerns, and he's still very young, so I wouldn't give him 83 yet. Just going through it. Other than that, I think everything's good. Obviously, Grant Williams should be a 99. I agree with that one. Grant Williams is the best. He is the heart and soul of this team. But the other one, I'd probably give Jalen. I know this has been Josh was talking about hot debates in the comments. This one's probably been another one. The Jalen Brown rating, I give him either 89 or 90. I don't know about 87. I think that's a little too low for him right there. I think he's done a lot more. I saw Lewis in one of the group chats. I don't want to steal what he said too, but I'm going to piggyback on it. I mean, the defense, he brought up the defense, that he plays over. Because I'm not calling him out, but Tatum, who he has at 9, who we have at 91. Tatum plays much better. Brown plays much better defense, much more athletic over there. I believe he's a better passer. We can debate that too, but I think those things warrant him a little more of an 89, 90 there. I think he's right there with Tatum. Tatum's just more of a scorer, more playmaker. And I really, as I say playmaker, I probably could make a debate for Jalen Brown too in that. So other than that, I think it's pretty good. I know I went through a lot of it, Josh, but I think we hit pretty much everything on the head with some of these ones.
Yeah, I agree. I like most of them. Just quickly taking a look here, I think that Marcus Smart. I don't mean to nitpick Jared, but I think Marcus Smart should be in it's tough. Maybe like 84. I mean, defensive player there. I thought he did a good job. I think Jalen Brown should 100% be a 90 or a 91. Maybe even scoot Tatum up to like a 94. Al Horford, I'm okay with. Jared, I like that. If anything, I'm not going to cry over 78, 79. Rob Williams, maybe an 85, 84, 83 is fine, no problem. Malcolm Brogdon, I like 81, maybe a couple notches up. I'm okay with that one as well. Gallinari, Derek White, Williams, Pritchard, I'm cool with all those. The one that really caught my eye was the Jalen Brown one because I couldn't agree with you anymore. I think, probably a great playmaker, and I know in the playoffs this year didn't really prove his point to be a great playmaker, but overall he is a good playmaker. He can make things happen, and I think he's really taken that jump this year, so I think he should be a little higher. Definitely should crack 90s, but overall I don't have that much of a problem with the list. You got Jeff Warren coming in here. Tatum is at 93, sir. Tatum was first team All-NBA. He's not a 91. So I agree with Jeff. I think he could be Jeff saying 93, and then Tatum coming in saying he's not a 91. So, yeah, I don't know. I
think that one's good.
Yeah,
I think that's good.
Yeah, and you can kind of it's all subjective with the 2K ratings. They're gonna change. Is the funniest part about it. They're gonna continue to change as the season progresses. But overall, I don't mind it. One last quick look here. I don't mind it. Yeah, I just think that Jalen Brown, maybe Smart a little bit, and then Rob Williams goes up a couple. I have no problem with it overall, though. I think Jared did a great job. And one of the final tweets that we had was JD Davidson 93. So a little bit of a troll coming out of there. Who was that? I believe that tweet was from Paul Pierce Goat at Pierce Goat. So yeah, that
Pierce, he is the
Jared
goat.
did a good job, I think.
Oh yeah, hey, Jared did a solid job over there. Like I said, give Jalen Brown bump Jaylen Brown a little bit up, but it's just, meticulous stuff now. It's just a couple of points where just sort of splitting hairs about just something to talk about, too. And, hey, shout out J.D. Davidson. Maybe, you never know. Maybe he could be a 93 if he keeps playing like he just did in that summer league game. I'm loving what I'm seeing so far from him.
We've got Croissant Man saying Jeff's wrong. And Jeff saying, according to Twitter, Chet has a higher strength rating than LeBron. That's crazy.
Not true.
And we've got Jeff coming in here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Check his stat line from today before and calling that guy a troll. So that's a funny one.
I don't know about that. Yeah, Jeff's just trolling with that Chet one. I don't think Chet is stronger than LeBron. I don't even think 2K can mess that up. So Jeff's just having a little fun with the Croissant Man. Those two guys going after it, going with it, I should say. So I'm still a little confused at Croissant Man. Why his name's Croissant Man? That's for another day.
That equals bust. I would love to get Tyler in here. He is one of the biggest haters, as Ben knows in our group chat.
Yeah.
Always calling him out. He's always calling Chet out. He just doesn't want him to be good, so that's funny, Croissant Man. I'm coming in here with that. Funny name. I like it. I like it. I like it. The unknown. I like it. Who is it? Who is Croissant Man? I like that. I like knowing the unknown. But Chet equals bust. I might have to double down on that. I don't think... I know Jared, he's raved about his height and, being able to kind of be explosive for a big man. But I think he's got to pack on a little bit more weight, Ben. I agree. I think he's going to be a defensive liability. We'll see. We'll see if the bright lights get to him. But Ben's the real professional, the real expert when it comes to these guys transferring. He watches a lot of no. Ben watches a lot of college ball. So let's see what Ben thinks about Chet being a bust.
Oh, hey Josh, listen, I only watch it, so it doesn't make me an expert. Same as you. And listen, I agree with you on that one, man. I mean, he's just got to put some weight on, because it's really not going to do anything. You saw, I think his name was Lofton. I believe Kay Lofton Jr. from the Grizzlies, just pushing him around after everybody was going crazy with that first game from Chet. He kind of came back down to earth, but he's still going off. So I shouldn't say going off, still putting solid games together. I initially was on the bus campaign. I thought it was going to be, maybe not like a Darko Milicic, but, I thought it wasn't going to be living up to that hype. But I've been proven a little wrong in the summer league so far. Obviously, it's summer league. You got to take that with doses. But I like what he's doing over there with OKC, and I like what they're doing over there with him, sort of making him the masterpiece over there. I mean, listen, if he can put on some weight, he's going to be unstoppable. That's just the only problem. You see him hitting threes, see him adapting to the new modern NBA game. If he can hit those shots, he's going to be pretty unstoppable to stop. Just put on some weight so he doesn't get bullied around there and get tossed around from some of these other just bigger guys that aren't better than him. So initially I was on the bus bandwagon, but I think I'm off now. I think I'm going to be... I think he's going to be solid. I'm not ready to say, he's going to be the best, but I think he's going to be solid over there. And I like the length they got going on over there in OKC. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander leading the point. They got a bunch of long guys. Josh Giddey, the other Frenchman they drafted in the same class. He's looking to be good. Obviously, Chet. So they got something cooking over there in OKC. You got a bunch of other picks too. So I like to see what they're doing, and I'm on board with Chet, Josh.
Okay, I like it. I could tell immediately you were like,
At first, he's just scary. It's scary. Just so he's so skinny and everything, and you see all those guys like that in the NBA come and just get tossed around. But he's been hitting some shots in summer league, and he's been playing well with those guys. So I give it a Chet right there. I give like I said, small sample size, but I'm in a Chet experiment right now.
And I got a couple comments here before we switch to our main event of the show. We've been dying to get to this. But we've got Jeff coming in here. J.D. Davison today, 28, 10, and 5 on 9 of 14 shooting and 4 of 6 from the 3. Sounds like a 92 to me. Charlie coming in here. Chill out. Colin Holmes, LOL. And then Aiden calling out Jeff. I just watched Jeff Google that while typing it out. And Ben's built like a small Chet Holmgreen. So what's going on here, Ben? They're calling you out.
Listen, I'd be honored to be a small Chet Holmgren. Listen, I wouldn't mind that. We kind of got similar games in there. I grow a little better beard than him, but I'll take that comment from Aiden. Then yeah, Colin. It's a little insider one. Colin's a big fan over there of JD. Like I said, like Charlie said, let's just slow a roll. Slow a roll. I'm excited from what I've been seeing from him. Obviously, like Chet, small sample size, but just slow the roll though. Let's see him get into the regular games.
I think that's fair. As you look at the NBA and you look at kind of how these guys get hyped coming up from college, we've seen it with a bunch of guys. The Darko one was a great reference. But
it stinks.
Yeah, he's horrible. But he was horrible. Yeah, I don't even
no
think
offense.
he's a farmer now. I think he's a farmer now. So yeah, there's a lot to be learned there with that. But however, we were doing a lot of chatting last week. We had Jared in the comments. You know, it was just back and forth with some Patriots fans feeling a little disrespected. We had a little something kind of cooking up in the chat last week, and that was, you know, can the Patriots win more than 7 games this year? Like I said, it's been highly debated. I've gotten in group chats about it. James, I talked to him personally in person. He said it is disrespectful, and when he comes back on the show, he wants to address the people who believed that, you know, we're going to win less than 7 games or the 7-game threshold. He thought that was just disrespectful. However, we took to Twitter, we took to Instagram, I took to the Time I Talked to Instagram, my personal Instagram. Where else did we go? Facebook, and we got a lot of stuff. I don't even want to review the poll results yet. I want to wait a little bit later. I was able to pull up the schedule of the Patriots, and I figured me and Ben can kind of just take a look at the schedule, give you guys a little bit of, you know, an example of what the Patriots are going to do, how the teams that they're going to play, give you guys a little bit of a mock of how you're feeling. But again, we're not going to go game by game. We're going to do more of the schedule. The schedule release already happened, but we're going to do our schedule, our standing release for all 3 of our favorite teams, the Patriots, Cowboys, Steelers. So we're not going to go too in depth. This is more just for you guys to look at. But as you can see, this is the schedule here on the right of me. And a lot of people coming out saying that the Patriots, last show, a lot of people coming out on the show saying the Patriots won't win 7 games, or that 7-game threshold is not enough. I just want to throw one thing out here before I turn over to Ben and turn to you guys in the comment section here. And feel free, if you're a new viewer, if you're shy, whatever, I want your Patriots takes. I want your takes on how many games they win. I want you to call us out. I want you to agree, whatever it is. But before I turn it over to Ben here, I just want to let you guys know that Vegas has the Patriots at 8.5 games. Is the win-loss, is their, you know, that's the line there for Vegas. And it is a plus 160 for the Patriots to make a playoffs if you want to do a futures bet. So just throwing that one out there as well. But Ben, I'll turn to you and see what you think. Is 7 games, will the Patriots win more than 7 games?
It's a tough one. Obviously, viewer, fan, top fan, Jeff just sent me his. He wants me to plug it, shamelessly plug his predictions. He's got him at 10 wins. So he has the over on that one. So he was just doing the math, just for the model he sent, just to make sure I got it right.
Commented 10 too. He commented.
Yeah, did he?
Yep.
Yeah, listen, he's just, he always just got to get it out there. Thank you for the comment, Jeff. It's tough. I'm just looking at the schedule now too. Obviously, I was looking at it before, but some of these games, my hot take too, I've been coming in here. I believe the Patriots will split the Bills series this year between the Bills. They wouldn't want to lose one, but they will get swept by either the Jets or Dolphins. That's what I'm going to say. That's what I have going on. That's my hot take. Everybody said the other way around. I'm going to reverse it. Just everybody remember that when you get swept by the Dolphins or the Jets. Just let me know. I think the Bills always find a way to lose one against the Patriots. They just They do. I don't know whether it be that just bowl game, that you just run the ball. Max Jones only throws it 3 times. Something's going to happen. Uh, this is tough, but I'm going to go under. I don't think they. It's tough. It might be a push too. I don't want to back out and put a push in there because I think they might be at 7. I think they might be at 7. I'm looking at these tough games. I mean, they got the Lions in there. I think they win at the Lions, but Browns, Deshaun Watson-less Browns. I think you got to win there too. But I mean, Colts are a tough game. Got Cardinals, Raiders at the end of the season. Those aren't easy games. Bears, obviously, that's a nice win, but Packers, Vikings, those aren't easy games. It's just tough. I mean, you got the Bengals late too. Dolphins late game always trips them up, and you end with the Bills. Listen, I mean, boiling down with the Steelers schedule too, it probably doesn't seem too nice for us, or work out too well, I should say, for us. In the win department as well. But the hot takes, I'm going to go under, Josh.
Wow, we've got a couple other comments sprinkling
Let me hear
here. We've got Sean, the Jets, no. The Dolphins, maybe. So yeah, Sean from
that's why I said both.
There. We've got Denise coming in. Jared, that's just a blank statement of Jared. Let's see what she thinks. And Jeff coming in here. The losses are going to be, the Patriots' losses are the Ravens, Packers, Colts, Bills at Gillette, Cardinals, Raiders, Dolphins, and Miami. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Forgot the Steelers.
5, 6, 7, 8. So Jeff has them going 9-8. That would be over. Like I said, we're not going to give you the exact predictions of the Patriots schedule because we've got some time to do that. We've got a whole show or half a show where we're going to dedicate to that with James. We'll get to that. But I'm going to say they go over 7 games. Come on, guys. I think we're being a little disrespectful to the Patriots here. You take a look at this schedule. I think it's tough. But overall, I think they have a fairly decent home schedule. I mean, they play the Lions at home. They play the Bears at home. They play the Jets once at home. They play the Colts at home. Okay. The Ravens. Come on. I actually put a $50 bet that they beat the Ravens at home. Yeah, they have some tough matchups. I think Miami's always a tough matchup, whether it's away or home, especially away. And, just looking at their track record and even just looking at what they've added, their acquisitions, I think Miami is definitely a lot more closer to the Patriots now than they have been before. That's a close one. Plus, they got swept last year, and some say they did get better than last year in terms of the depth chart. But looking at this Patriots schedule, I think they can eke out maybe 9 to 10 games. I've really been back and forth on that. I'm not going to give you a final yet. That could even swing. But they made a trade too. N'Keal Harry, they got rid of him for a 7th-round pick. I like it. I think it's good for both teams. Bears take a flyer. Doesn't hurt them. They need it. Just want to throw that one out there. But Ben, I think it's over. I think we're getting a little disrespectful with the Patriots. Denise saying, bottom line, no one knows. And Jeff coming in here saying, did not forget the Steelers. So, but I think we're getting a little disrespectful, man. I don't know. It is tough. Ben doesn't think so.
I mean, the first 2 games, thank you for that too, Josh. I was reading it backwards. I thought Indy was going to you guys. No, I thought you guys were going to Indy. My fault. I was misreading the schedule. So, I mean, that's pretty tough now looking at that. You got 2, you start the season going to Miami, then to Pittsburgh. I mean, just saying, if you lose both those games, then you got the Ravens coming into town, then you got to go to Lambeau. So, I mean, Patriots could easily start out 0-4 if those first 2 games don't work out their way. Obviously, you got the Lions after that. I think they beat up on the Lions. Then they got the Browns, the Bears, Jets. They got a little schedule to hop back on there after that. But like I said, Jets aren't a cupcake, a cupcake walk either anymore. Jets are a tough team. They got some weapons now. Can they get it done? Like Kindreth said, I mean, obviously not. Nobody knows right now, but it looks good on paper right now for them. So that's all you can do. So I just want to put that out there. Bears, yeah, listen. I mean, come on. I mean, Browns are obviously not looking like they're going to have Deshaun. I don't think Jacoby Brissett's going to do too much. So just saying, watch out for those first 4 games, especially the first 2.
And they finish off with a tough little schedule here too. Just quickly looking, they got the Bengals, Dolphins, and the Bills. And if you even want to go further, since all the way up to Monday night 8:20, they have the Vikings on the road, Bills. Then they go on the road back-to-backs against Arizona and the Las Vegas Raiders, who got really well. Then they go Bengals, Miami, and then finish on the road in Buffalo. So that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 game stretch. Just me looking at it saying, wow, that's a tough one. So Croissant Man saying they are the Jets, though. I agree. Come on, they're not going to get swept by the Jets. I don't even think the Jets split. I'm done saying that the Jets split. I need to see it before I believe it. But without further ado, this is what we all have been waiting for. What did everyone think? Before we got to the polls last week, just in the chat between Ben, between Marianne, between Nick, between Jared. That was like 4 people right there that didn't believe the Patriots would win more than 7 games. Let's take a look at the poll results. Will the Patriots win more than 7 games? 71% of you guys said yes, they will, and 29% said no. This is the Timeout Talks official poll here. We did I should have put the little logo on the bottom, but we did Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We got a lot of feedback on Twitter and Instagram, but 71% of you guys said the Patriots will win more than 7 games. So there you have it. And Jeff, they are playing on Thanksgiving. Let me just quickly look. That is, that's Thanksgiving. You see the little turkey. That is against the Vikings. That'll be a good little game there.
Tough one.
And Jeff saying, my 10-game win model is based off the Patriots signing Matt Ryan. That's funny. So a lot of troll going on there. But Pats, let's do it one more time. You guys, the viewers, believed. 71% said yes, and 29% said that they will not win more than 7 games. So a lot of the majority of our Timeout Talks viewers and poll scrollers, whatever you want to call them, believed that the Patriots will win more than 7 games. So as I mentioned earlier on in the show, a little bit earlier, we're going to get back to the schedule and the standings for each of our teams. We'll quickly go down whether it's a win or a loss. We've been doing that for a couple years now, so that'll be fun, exciting. That should be coming up within the next couple weeks. Before we go, just wanted to also mention next week we're going to recap some more of the Red Sox Yankees. It's a big series in the Bronx. I will be in the Bronx. It's Chris Sale Sunday 1:35 going up against Garrett Cole. So both of the aces take the bump. I guess whatever you want to call it, Evaldi or Sale, whoever you want to call the ace. Whatever, asterisks, whatever, both of them, 1A, 1B. Both aces on the mound in New York. That's going to be a lot of fun. And Sean, he said, when are you streaming on Twitch? We're on Twitch right now, dude. So watch us on Twitch. We're on Twitch.
Yeah, we're on Twitch
2 weeks
right
in
now.
a row,
We got
man.
it.
We're on Twitch.
We made it. Shout out to Josh.
Follow-
Josh got it done.
I appreciate that. Follow us
Josh
on
got it
Twitch at timeout_talks. We're on Twitch. There was a little bit
Go
of
talk to
shuffling
Croissant
going on.
Man. You can talk to the Croissant Man and Jeff and everybody in there.
So, but yeah, Home Run Derby. Super excited for that. As I mentioned, we'll get some recap for the Yankees. I'm gonna give it off to Ben as I always do. But before I do, just want to thank everybody for joining. An awesome show. We had to shuffle some things around. I know we're on a unique Thursday night slot here. Works for some, works for some others. Doesn't work for some others. That's okay. We will be back to Tuesday next week. So everybody, again, thank you for tuning in. Let's go Yankees. They take 2 out of 3. And the Patriots will win more than 7 games.
Yeah, echoing everything Josh said right there. Listen, just shout out Josh too for getting us on Twitch, YouTube, everywhere, Twitter. We're all around there. So just drop those comments wherever it's the easiest device for you to listen on. You know, everybody, those Facebook people, those are the OGs, the old school people out there. So we love the Facebook comments. Those people have been with us for from the start, but we love seeing those other comments too out there. So appreciate everybody listening, commenting, makes the show. So appreciate that. I'm gonna not echo this, Josh. I got 2 out of 3 for the Red Sox over the Yankees. Gonna get swept tonight, guys. It's gonna be a rough night against the Rays, unfortunately. Bullpen stinks. I'm gonna bounce back against the Yankees. Like I said, Patriots under 7 runs.